Hello, welcome to my live. Thank you for joining. Today's topic, we're talking about the signs that let you know that you are ready to change your life, to shift your life to a new frequency of yourself. So I'm sure by now you've heard about awakening, right? And I'm sure many of you know what that means. So as a society, we have been living in certain limitations. We've been programmed to feel less about ourselves and to really live in limitation. No matter what you do, where you go, how you feel about yourself, what you watch, everything about us has been programmed to sort of keep us less than we are, right? And so this is a time that we are all being asked to awaken and to really begin to tap into who we are, our divine nature, right? But how do you know when you're ready? That's something that I don't see many people talking about. Hello, Angel Color. Claudia, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. Thank you. But how do you know? There are signs that let you know when you're ready to shift from the current level of consciousness to the next one, right? The first one that comes up is within your own self. You feel like you're not satisfied. There's a sense of being dissatisfied with the way your life is looking outside of yourself, right? And then sometimes there's negative thoughts that pop up out of nowhere, and then we just have these negative feelings and we have no idea how to clear them, right? Because of the old programming, sometimes we have certain traumas that kind of stay in our bodies, and then they come up when we are ready to release them. And I should say, you can't really change, you can't really release anything that is not ready to be released. Your body decides what needs to be changed. And so this is where you begin to feel just uncomfortable within yourself. It's because your body is ready. It's ready to let go. It's ready to heal the traumas and to move on to the next level of its experience. So if you're not consciously reprogramming your own subconscious mind, I guarantee you someone else is doing that for you. I know this doesn't sound good, but if you watch TV, especially at night around 10:30 or 11 p.m. or before you go to bed, if you watch TV, there's a lot of side effects, about some medication. They talk about these side effects and in an energy of fear. So what happens there is that time is a perfect time to program your subconscious mind. And the people that do that, they know, right? So they program people to stay in fear. And then plus the blocks and restrictions and the trauma that we may have within us, on top of that, it's like we are perpetually remaining in a state of limitation, right? Thank you. Yeah, I know, right? It is interesting. It's very interesting. New also. What do you mean? Are you new to awakening and self-development? Is that what you mean? And when we don't know, how can you change something you don't know, right? You gotta sort of begin to find out and see what is really stopping you at a subconscious level, because our subconscious minds are very, very powerful, right? The news, yeah, oh my God, it's so negative. I don't watch the news anymore. I hate the way where we are right now as a society, and all the horrible things that are happening right now. It's terrible. And so I know people that still watch the news and then they complain to me about what's happening. Did you see this? Did you see that? I tell her, no, I cannot watch the news anymore, because I'm very kind of protective about what I put in my subconscious mind and what I allow in my consciousness, because I know how powerful the subconscious is. The subconscious mind does not care whether something is good for you or bad for you. It just does its job. And so I think this is why it's very important to become aware of what we are putting in our subconscious, especially before you go to bed, because that's the perfect time for it to begin to work on your behalf, right? So the people that do affirmations, and some people say affirmations don't work, and I sort of have to disagree because it depends on how you are doing it, right? If you're saying affirmations just in your head, you know, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am loved, I'm protected. You're not like conscious in your own body. You're not tapping into the feeling, the energy of the I am, because you are a powerful being. And when you say I am, you are literally affirming your divinity here. You are about to affirm the thing that comes after I am. So if you say I am abundant, but you're not feeling it in your body, you're not even feeling your power first before you say abundance, it's like you're just playing at the mental level. You're not engaging your body, you're not engaging your presence, which is the divinity that is within you that literally changes your life in a big way. You can begin to change your life in like 7 days. It depends on how you are doing these affirmations and what time you're doing them. Now, during the day, we can do affirmations, you know, in the background of our lives, whether we are working or we're doing like mundane tasks. That's okay. But the important times are right before you fall asleep and right before you wake up in the morning. Have you ever woken up in the morning and immediately you have a negative thought or a negative feeling, or you just remember what happened yesterday, and then you begin to feel bad about what happened, and like you revisit these things over and over again in your body in the morning before you even start your day? Yeah, right? Yeah, I've done that many times. I've experienced like negative thoughts before I even began to find out what I was putting in my subconscious. This used to happen a lot until I gave up. So when I was about 22, okay, let's back up. I was programmed to believe that I wasn't good enough and I'll never amount to anything from a young age, when I was like 11. And then when I was about 22, everything that I was programmed to believe about myself started getting bigger and bigger and louder in my consciousness. No, this was actually my, oh, your parents? Yeah, I know. And it's the people closest to us. It's interesting. It's the people that help us grow as a young child. Oftentimes they're not. It was my aunt and their family. It's a long story there. But anyway, when I was about 22, everything that I was programmed to believe about myself started to get louder. And so it's like I couldn't ignore it anymore. Right? And so I decided to like really dig deeper into the programs that I was programmed with, because I didn't understand why when I woke up in the morning, the first thought was, you're a piece of shit. You're nothing. You never amount to anything. It's like living with a bully in your mind. It's not a good feeling at all. And so I started to really question what was coming up. I'm like, am I really that bad? Like, what did I do that is so wrong in order for me to feel this bad about myself? What was happening there? There was a deeper part of myself that was saying that this is not who you are. This is not who you are. So for the programs that were coming up that loudly, they were telling me to sort of look at them, to investigate what's going on in my body so that I can address whatever was coming up, release it, heal it, and then begin to decide how I want to be. Begin to decide what thoughts I put my energy behind. Because all of us are powerful and we are the originating consciousness of our own life. And so if we're not actively programming our own subconscious mind, like I mentioned, someone else is in some way. Whether that's a parent, a sibling, an older sibling, friends, or society in general. Someone is programming you because there's nobody home. Like I like to say, you sort of have to become interested in your own consciousness and see what you are manifesting in your life. The modality that has really helped me a lot, more than anything, this is one of my favorite modalities, the Akashic Records. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Akashic Records and what they are, but they literally keep the record of your life, like every thought you've ever thought, every emotion you've ever felt, everything that has been programmed in your subconscious, you can find out exactly what it is and when it was created and who else was involved when a certain block was created in your Akashic record. And then also, it can also go to like past lives issues, because sometimes we come in with certain karmas from a past life that, you know, we make choices and have certain patterns that limit who we are being, like, you know, how we express ourselves. So the Akashic records can let you know what sort of patterns you are currently engaged in and how they are limiting you in a real way in your third dimensional reality. You can find out when they were created, whether it's in this lifetime or a certain lifetime, you know, past life, that maybe something happened, but it wasn't resolved when you ended that past life, right? And so what happens is that our souls decide, no, I think I'm going to go back so I can do it differently this time, right? And so we actually do learn a lot about ourselves from lifetime to lifetime so that we can learn to come back to the all, to come back to love, to come back to who we are at a soul level. And so when we come in with certain patterns from a past life, it's like we're here to address that, and we're here to really find out who we're not, and then find out who we are so we can begin to shine our light in such a brilliant way that it can help other people, right? Now, the Akashic Record is also where you find out what your soul level energetics are. I am not a big fan of certain manifestation practices that are out there. They help somebody, but they don't help everybody. Like, you want to know why? It's because we are all different at a soul level, and we literally have like our own energies that we come in with at a soul level that are aligned to who we are, that let us know, hey, this is correct for you and this isn't. But how would you know? How would you know what is aligned for you? Some people actually, I want to say, do stumble upon something that is naturally aligned to their divine soul blueprint. So you find that they do something very little and they manifest something big, right? And then they talk about it like, yeah, I just did this and I'll tell you, I manifested this in 3 days. It makes sense because that person, one, has been working on themselves, has been implementing many different manifestation techniques to sort of move their energy, right? So they've been moving their energy for a little bit, and then they found this one modality and like implemented the techniques and manifested their desire. I have like 3 clients that manifested like this, and then when they got their Akashic Record reading done, they found out that it was aligned to their blueprint. And so it's like, it's not an accident. What works for us is really not an accident. And if something doesn't work for you, then you know that, okay, you've done enough. You now have an understanding of what doesn't work for you. This means that there is something that works for you. You just haven't found it yet. Right? So I wouldn't say, oh, don't try anything else. Don't try anything to manifest. This is how we learn. Like, you gotta try a few things and see what works for you. But I find that the Akashic Record holds the truth, like the true vibration of our soul, the true energy of who we are, right? So it sort of cuts through the noise. Like, you don't have to be guessing anymore. Oh, is this gonna work? Is the 369 gonna work for me? What about the scripting? Is it gonna work for me? What about the quantum jump with the cups? Is it gonna work for me? You don't have to guess anymore because your soul is literally gonna tell you. Like, your Akashic Record will let you know what is aligned for you. And this is a beautiful thing when you get your reading, and it will let you know the current patterns that are sort of keeping you away from your truth. And I think that's really, really valuable. And the thing that I find that is interesting is that I don't have to tell you about what's going on in your life. You know your own life. You get to affirm to me whether what I found in your record is true or not. That's the thing. Like, most people are just going to tell you, oh, this is what I found. Just believe it and go with it and do XYZ and everything's going to be great. But no, this is a co-creative process, and it literally goes to the truth of what's happening energetically. Most people don't know that we have an energetic life as well. We have a physical life, we have a mental life, we have an energetic life, energetically, like, the field of our energy, and then we have a spiritual life, which is, where the Akashic reside at a deep level. And so I find that when people just react at the mental level, they don't understand what's going on at a deep level. And so this is the beauty of the Akashic Record. And they've actually helped me tap into my divine gifts that I've actually been rejected for many times. But I reached a point where I was like, this is who I am. This is the relationship I have between me and God. And we talk every day. And God is okay with that because I have these gifts of channeling divine light, divine beings of light for transformation and manifestation, right? So it's like we're all unique and we have our own gifts. But some people, if they're not used to something, then they put labels on it, right? Oh yeah, that's wrong. That's not right. How can you do that? I literally had a lady in 2019 tell me that what I do must be from the devil, because how am I able to channel beings of light to do that? So here's a little backstory on that. In 2019, I went to a coach's retreat, and there is where I debuted my channeling abilities, like, channeling a higher frequency from my vocal cords to heal anything that is in your body, anything that is sort of stuck in your energy field, so that you can begin to feel your own frequency, so that you can begin to reintroduce yourself to who you are, right? So some people literally get this reading and bypass the Akashic Record, which is fine. But I think getting the Akashic Record will let you know what you are doing wrong and what you are not tapping into as your divine truth, right? But anyway, at that retreat, we had a segment where everyone was doing like their little talents and stuff. So some people sang, some people did poetry, and then all of a sudden I felt this frequency in me. Like I felt a knowing, like someone was talking to me within my body saying, you need to channel. And then I was like, what are you talking about? I've never done this. You need to channel. And so I talked to the two ladies that were there. I was like, hey, so I do this thing, although I haven't consciously done it on the physical plane, I'm being guided for some reason to do it here. I'm being guided to like channel this frequency, but I'm really scared. And then they both of them were like, do it. Like they became so serious, and like both of them looked at me at the same time and said, do it. I'm like, okay. So I decided to do it. And so what happened was this loving essence came from within me. And right before I channeled, all of a sudden, everyone in the room, it's almost like they started talking fast and loudly. And then I was like walking through slowly, like my legs were walking slowly, but I knew it wasn't me, right? It was this loving essence beginning to like come through, and she was just like walking slowly, very calmly. And then while everyone was like talking really fast, she went like this. She was like, shh. And then everyone stopped at the same time and looked at me. And then I was like, what, do I have something on my face? In the background, while she was in my body, I was like, okay, this is uncomfortable. But I let it happen. I let her like come through. And we'll talk about who she is. So after she did that, everyone like looked at me. And then in the background, I'm like, oh my God, is my hair okay? Am I, do I have something on my face? And then she started coming through. She's like, so everyone relax. In this British accent, they like British accent, which I like it too. It sounds fancy, I think. Anyway, she told everyone who she was. She's like Ethos, higher self, and there are her spirit guides around her protecting her. Same for you. You all have your spirit guides here in this room right now. They are surrounding you, letting you know that you are protected, everything is all right. Right? And so everyone was calm. And so the instructions were, they sort of told people, they suggested people to sort of think about their lives and to bring to the consciousness, like to think about a problem, an issue, and anything that is stopping them in their lives, creation and anything that seems like it's stopping them from moving forward. Just bring it to your mind. Don't do anything else. Just focus on that and we will do everything else. So she told them that Ether was going to channel a frequency which is going to kind of like get in their field and like help release anything that is not for their highest good. And again, they reiterated that their spirit guides are around. There's nothing to be afraid of. Everything is fine. And so it was time, right? And so she told everyone to close their eyes, to relax, to breathe. And then this high-pitched frequency came out of my mouth and like literally penetrated everyone's energy field. I know that sounds strange, but just go with me. Penetrated everyone else's energy field, and then like literally dissolved everything that was like stopping them. Some people had a chronic illness, I forgot the name of it, but it's the one that you are always in pain, right? And then another lady had like a big stomach and she was having problems, I forgot the term for it. But anyway, everyone felt differently after that. Now, there were some coaches that if you're a woman, you can tell when a woman just doesn't like you for no reason, right? You can tell the vibes. So before I started channeling, yeah, she thought that she was better than me and like, whatever, the little ego drama that we play in. And then after I channeled, what the beings of light told me was that she held on to her blocks. She didn't allow the frequency. So basically she was fighting with it, right? And so that created like, she was unstartled by what she was hearing. And so that created a little resistance in her body. Resistance in her body. And so when we got done, she was like really afraid. And so they looked at her. That was the first person they looked, are you okay? Are you alright? They're there trying to help. Like, are you okay? No, I'm okay. I'm fine. And so they just nodded at her. Alright? And went on to the next person, like make sure everyone was okay. Like 90% of the room, everyone said that they felt a shift in the body. They healed some things, right? Some women were crying. Just to give you a context of the transformation that happened, right? And so there was a lady that was in the kitchen. A few feet from where we're sitting in the living room. She did not hear the instructions, and she's Catholic. And I grew up Catholic, by the way. But I decided to reprogram myself from all the limitation I was programmed in. But anyway, she heard that, but she didn't hear the instructions. So when the frequency came through, she freaked out. She's like, what is that? So she stopped what she was doing. She came to the living room. She's like, what is that? What are you doing? I did not sign up for this. How is she able to do that? Why? What are you doing? This must be from the devil. I am leaving. I did not sign up for this. She was really upset. And so everyone was like, no. We all are unique and different. We have gifts that we come in with. This just so happens to be Ethel's. Well, I went by Emma. Ethel is my spiritual name, but my given name is Emma Lombe. But anyway, she did not want to hear it. And so she went upstairs. She's like, I am leaving. So she packed her stuff. And the funny thing was, she was my roommate at the retreat. So she went upstairs and someone followed her just to make sure she was alright. And she's like, no, this is too weird. I did not sign up for this. And she left. And so everyone was like, okay, we're sending you love. It's okay. You don't have to accept it. But this isn't from the devil. She didn't want to hear it. It was almost as if the only way that she would really be okay if somebody said, yeah, we agree with you. This is too woo-woo. This is too crazy. But no one did. Everyone was very supportive, which I was very grateful for, to know that there were people that were supportive of this gift. And so that night, I noticed some people like started acting weird towards me that were nice to me before. There was a lady that was like super close to me before I channeled, like, a few days when I was there before this channeling. Anyway, after that, she did not want anything to do with me. I'm like, interesting. So to me, that showed me that the same gift that people found value in and actually healed is the same gift that I was rejected for by some people. That night, I went to bed. There was a lady that was like, no, you're great. Don't worry about that. I think it's sacred that you do that. But I was like, yeah, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. But it really stuck with me. Like, the rejection really stuck with me. And I think part of that was because I was rejected most of my life. So it showed me that I was still playing in the energy of rejection and really caring what people thought about me, right? And it's normal. We're human. I'm human. And that's going to come up every once in a while. I just have to know that I don't have to listen to that voice anymore, right? And so that night, while I didn't even like sleep well. I started having a conversation with God because I have my own, when you're in silent and you're not bombarded by noise outside of you, that's when the divine speaks to you. That's when God actually gives you the answers that you are looking for, right? And so I was like, God, is this from the devil? And God chuckled and said, no. And that was it. And so I was like, please elaborate. Nothing. I just heard no, right? And then I know it's kind of ridiculous to even ask God that, is my gift from the devil? Like, it's weird. But anyway, I think for my own mental stability or to calm my mind and my body, I think I had to ask that question just to get reassurance and like affirmation that, yeah, it's actually from God, not from the devil. So I don't know if you've ever heard of channeling, but that's like part of my gift. Excuse me. So the beings of light that I channel are from Egypt. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Isis, Osiris, the goddess of the sun, and the all, and some of them, that have never been human. But they're here to assist with our ascension, especially at this time. They're asking everyone to awaken, to wake up, to like really become aware to what is programming your subconscious and what is keeping you hidden from your power. Now, as women, we are very, very powerful, right? Our wombs, womb. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm glad you find it interesting. You're like the first person that has actually even interacted with me on this live. This is my third day coming on, but I've been going live like in the mornings and then sometimes in the afternoon. But I decided to kind of come on this evening just to see what happens. And so thank you so much. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it. So as women, is that Eastern or Mountain time? Because I'm in Mountain. And thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Thank you. So our wombs are very powerful, right? This is where we hold our power. But at the same time, we've been programmed to hold fear, yes, thank you, you too, thank you, to hold fear, guilt, and shame in our wombs, right? Even our ancestors, they went through this. They went through negative programming to sort of keep us hidden from our power, right? So that we effectively not know who we are. But this is the time the divine feminine is being asked to awaken. And I will say that it is activated, and some women are actually tapping into their divine feminine, and some women sort of maybe not ready, which is fine. It's a journey, and we are all on our own journey. And so we know when we're ready because we feel it deep in our hearts. We feel it in our consciousness. And then again, things will come up to let us know that it's time to heal that, right? So if you recognize any of the following, then, you might be ready to tap into your divine feminine and begin to get a feel of your own power. You can literally create anything in your womb, but you're not connected with her. Not in the way that she can really transform your life in a powerful way, right? The fear has to go. The guilt, the shame has to go. Because your womb is not just holding your limitation. Your ancestors and the women that came before also went through that, like I mentioned. So there's a lot of limitation and traumas that we hold there that need to be healed now, right? And you can tell, you don't call anything into your consciousness that you are not ready for, that you did not call there, right? That nothing can come into your awareness that you didn't invite there. And so sort of notice yourself and see what's going on in your body when you hear people or watch videos about divine feminine and see how you feel in your body. You maybe there's an energy of, oh, wow, that's interesting, that's intriguing. Or there's an energy that's no. And then you scroll or, do something else. Either way, that's fine. Either way, your consciousness is aware of the divine feminine, even though you haven't started healing that part of yourself. When you heal your divine feminine, when you heal your womb, you become a safe space for the masculine in your life. You become a safe space for the people that are in your life. And it actually just feels good to feel your power. It feels good to be yourself, right? You're not shrinking your energy when you are in public. You're not competing with other women. You're not criticizing yourself because, sometimes it feels like we have to edit ourselves in certain spaces in order to not be too much. I know my place here. Become aware of that when you are anywhere, really. Notice your body, notice yourself. Notice how you are being and how you feel to yourself. The feeling of you determines what you attract to you, right? And determines how other people treat you. Because people can pick up energetically and then they mirror that back to us. And then we react, why is this person being like this? But some people are just jerks, I'll say. But most of the time, people will mirror back to us how we are vibrating, where we are at. I've had women call me names because they were uncomfortable with me. So being that I'm an expert energetic practitioner, I can literally transform my energy because I choose it. And in an instant, just like that, I notice my body and I sort of vibrate in a way that makes me feel good, releases anything that is not for my highest good, and I make it okay that it's okay to be confident, right? It's okay to be myself. Because when you shrink your energy, you are inviting lower energies to sort of come into your space, your energy, and sort of influence you, or at least suggest to you how you should be thinking and feeling about yourself. People don't know this. This is for both men and women. People will, depending on where you are, suggest their stuff on you. Oh, Pacific. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. I'll come on. Thank you. So people will suggest to you, one, based on where you are energetically, two, their own stuff. There's just people that if they feel that they are unhappy with themselves and they see someone that is genuinely enjoying life and being okay with themselves, not from ego. This is very important. When people are comfortable in their own body, in their own energy, and they really feel like it's okay to be themselves, it's okay to be loved, it's okay to be confident, it's okay to be who they are, right? Because you're not doing anybody any favors if you are hiding yourself, if you are editing who you are being to make someone else feel good. And when you show up as your true authentic self, you sort of become an example for others in your life. That's one. But the people that you attract in your life are not going to be the people that like drama. I've had a few people that have been attracted into my life that were full of drama. And my divine soul energy, after doing my own Akashic record, my energy, the opposite of who I am, hates drama. Like, I'm allergic to it. I like to say I'm allergic to drama because it really ties up my energy in a way that it restricts me so bad that I begin to resent myself. I begin to hate myself for letting someone else influence how I'm going to act, letting someone else influence my energy, because like I mentioned, I am very protective about my energy. I like to be in a squeaky clean energy that is aligned to who I am. And so this is why it's important to really find out who you are and become aware of how you are showing up every day. The consciousness that you are waking up with, in the morning, like, notice that. Are you waking up with, a negative thought that just pops up in your mind? Are you feeling negative feelings about maybe a situation or about someone or even about yourself? Like I did. I used to have these thoughts that popped up in my mind in the morning, first thing in the morning. You are worthless. That's harsh, right? And this is because of other people's influences and negative suggestions that they bring onto us without us being aware. And we can only attract things to us and people to us based on our vibration. So if you look at your life right now, maybe there are some areas that are screaming out than others. They're literally, they want your attention. Things that you're not happy with. These are the areas that a deeper part of yourself is saying, hey, look at this. What are you going to do about this? And so if you choose to eliminate that, then if you are a woman, we are hosting our very first free feminine activation session on March 8th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. If you are a man, well, the Akashic records are both for men and women. This is where you find out what blocks are unconsciously sabotaging you. Like when you want something, when you want to manifest something, no matter what you do, something comes up. Nope, you don't really get what you want. And using some manifestation processes that are well known, that are out there, yeah, people manifest things, but sometimes they don't get exactly what they want, or they manifest something and then lose it in a month or two because their vibration, the energy that they use to create that thing, maybe is not completely aligned to who they are, or maybe their subconscious, allowed them to be able to attract that, but there's still something that is making them feel like they're not worthy of this thing that they just manifested. And so the program wins, and then, you lose the thing that you manifested. And I'll tell you, I've been there. Losing something that you really wanted after you have it is worse than not having it at all. Manifesting something you've been wanting for a while, and you're happy in that, and it shows you how powerful you are. You are proud of yourself for a minute, and you feel, yeah, I did it, and I'm worthy. But if there's a program that's like, okay, enough, you've had your fun, you're not enough, it's not gonna work, this thing is not for you, it's for other people, you can really have this, you get bombarded with these negative programs in conjunction with the feelings, right? And so people just get baffled. They're like, yeah, I'm not good enough. I had it, but it's proof that I'm not worth it. I'm not worthy. No, it's just a negative program that somebody embedded in you, or something that you are perpetuating from whenever it was created. So the Akashic Records lets you know what program is running your life that you are unconsciously choosing, that's then attracting certain energies, certain thoughts, and certain circumstances in your life. And then it lets you know when it was created and who else was involved when this program was created and how they did that and your part in it, in the creation of this. And then your records also lets you know what energy is aligned for you in manifestation, in creation, in self-expression. It's not a one-size-fits-all. We are all divine. Your divinity is different from mine. It looks very different, right? But we are all here to express ourselves on this planet right now as our unique energetic signature of the divine, unique energetic signature of God. Because God created all of us to express ourselves in many different ways that we can. Can you imagine if God created all of us to be the same, to do this one thing? You wake up every day, everybody do this one thing. Don't divert from it. Do this every day for the rest of your life. And everyone be one way, the same. That would be very, very boring. Like, what would be the point of God, the all, to create different parts of itself if it's just going to be the same anyway, right? So it's like, with the difference that we all are, it means that you're different. The way that you are different can be accessed in your record. Like, how different are you from me? What are your gifts that I'm not gifted in? Like, that are not my gifts. My gifts are not exactly like yours. We are all very different. There are some people that are gifted in relationships, right? They're very good at making relationships better, right? They just attract people in their aura, in their field, people that want to be around them. And then they attract some people that need healing, right? If someone wants healing, but they don't want to go to somebody, a practitioner or whatever, they know someone in their life that is an expert at being in relationship. The thing is, the person that is good in relationships doesn't know that this is their gift. That's the thing. We're totally asleep to our own gifts. And, that's okay. We can awaken to it one day. They don't know that this is their gift. So they just attract people in their aura that just innately trust them. These people trust this person. They don't even know why. And so they'll come when they need to be healed. They just spill their life story and talk about a situation that happened and how they felt. And yeah, that guy was a jerk. They just kind of tell their story. And this person is like, oh, wow. Okay. Wow. I'm so sorry that happened. They're just listening. So what's happening there energetically is that these people are healing themselves in the energy around this human that is an expert at being in relationships. So basically these people are drawn to this person because at a deep level they innately know that this person is going to help them. How are they going to help them? By doing nothing, by just being present and paying attention to this person that wants healing, right? Just their presence itself invites people that needs healing, and they feel like they're not going to be judged. They know at a deep level that if they tell this person that this is the right person for them to heal themselves, and then when they're done talking, the person is going to be like, wow, I feel so much better. Thank you so much. You're such a good listener. And then they're like, oh, wow, you're welcome. Both of them don't know what just happened. And so I have quite a few clients that are like this. And they always tell me about this random human in the grocery store was telling me about her life story. She was talking a lot and, she was a nice lady. And that's the thing. They know that these people are good people. The ones that are drawn to them, these are good people that just kind of needs a little bit of healing, right? But they get surprised when that happens, and it just kind of wow, I'm so surprised about what just happened here. So that's a gift. Now that's just one example. We are all unique and different. So if you do want an Akashic Record reading, there's a link in my bio. Click on it and see if this is something that would be a good addition to whatever it is that you do to uplift your consciousness to a new level of expression. Like I mentioned, this is the time that we're being called to really shift and change our lives. And, we're coming from a consciousness of fear to a consciousness of love as a society, as a community, as a human race. This is a time we're being called to strip everything that doesn't work and align to your unique frequency of who you are. So I want to thank you. Oh, hi, Stephanie. Thank you for joining. I didn't even see. I was like in the zone. So sorry. I did not see that you joined. I appreciate you for joining. Thank you. I will be back tomorrow, the same time. I want to thank you so much for being here and for joining my live. I appreciate your support. I hope you have a good night tonight, and I'll see you, hopefully, tomorrow. Thank you. Bye. Hopefully, tomorrow. Thank you. Bye. Hopefully, tomorrow. Thank you. Bye. Hopefully, tomorrow.